welcome to Office Hours with Amber. I'm Amber, and this is Office Hours. My computer's lagging. Guess what? It always is. Feel free to create a GoFundMe to get me a new laptop. There, I put it in the universe. Speaking of the universe, I have manifested a little too close to the sun. As you all know, I love myself some competitive Excel, and I'm not very good at it, but I do love it, and I love all the people that are involved with it, especially Harry Gross, obviously. He's in the chat, just bumping away every time, and I love him, and I'm obsessed with your dog. Just letting you know. But cool thing is, I went to the 2023 and 2024 Active Cell Conference and somehow weaseled my way into being a speaker at the 2025 Active Cell Conference in Vegas, December 1st through 3rd. If you want to buy tickets, you should, because they're only going to go up every month, but it's worth the money. I mean, honestly, it is the most bang for your buck. Like the Excel, like the spreadsheets and the PowerPoints you get alone are worth the money. And then secondarily, the people you meet in the room is like out of this world, especially if you even like spreadsheets or like data or like finance just a little bit. You like this conference is just like an explosion of like the most passionate, brilliant people in the world. And then being able to share a bev, compete a little bit of Excel, wicked fun. So at the conference, basically, I will be presenting the findings of this case study. So Office Hours with Amber is technically a case study to see if I can transform my understanding of Excel with 1 hour a week. So in 48 hours in 1 year, can I completely transform my understanding? And the answer is probably yes, because even just the last 3-4 months I've been doing this, I've unlocked so many new things. So anyways, I'm really stoked about it. My section is called From Spark to System. So cute. Basically, like taking your inspiration and creating a system to be able to kind of put action to the things that you want to do. Super stoked. But yeah, it's funny, like either they're very desperate for women speakers, which I'm okay with. Let's get that so clear. Or I've somehow, like, I've obviously been like a data person and an Excel person and like done this for the last, like, I don't know, 8-10 years. But it feels silly to be like invited to speak. You know what I mean? Like YouTube is one thing. I have full control and like, you know, so I'm battling a little bit of the, it's not imposter syndrome because I think I am very perfect for this speaking event to like kick off the conference and get people all on the like excited and talk about, there's going to be a little bit of Nostradamus of like, here's exactly what you guys are going to feel. You're going to attend this conference, leave feeling so inspired, and you're going to think through osmosis, you're going to learn all this stuff. Then 12 months later, you're going to come back to this conference and realize how much you still have not learned. And so, because that's exactly the experience that I had. I was still so stoked about it. I didn't feel any shame about what I hadn't learned. But if you don't put a system to, or put deadlines or goals or frequency to what you want to learn, I think it was a cool quote of like a dream with a deadline is a goal, or like a dream without a goal without a deadline is just a dream or something. I don't know. Obviously, we have until December to clean my shit up. So little did they know. And speaking of heinous, because my claim to fame, also, Harry, thank you so much about the compliment of my speaking. At the last conference, I was known as Sparkle Boots. As we know, I love a little shine. So, sneak peek for anyone who did not click out of the video already is I'm bedazzling a jacket, and I'm going to grab it now. So, I am bedazzling, I'm pinstriping a jacket that I'm going to wear on stage. And if I get real excited, maybe I'll do the whole, like I'll fill it all in. But this shit takes forever. Other people have like strips of rhinestones. I'm going to do it. But yeah, I'm really excited to be fully blinged out. I'm going to be wearing the most outrageous outfits for those for the conference, because at this point, rhinestones are the brand. But I digress. Another big thing, a huge win in my book is, I don't know about you guys, but when I use like the scroll on this, here, let's do some aesthetic stuff. Oh, my nail polish looks so bad. I don't care. You see how like it only scrolls a little bit? Done. Okay. Same thing with this. Just goes, comes back. Look at this. It's got a infinite scroller. Huge. And you can like toggle on and off if you want the infinite scroll or not. This is really riveting stuff today, guys. But I accidentally got this at the Office Depot. I got this the other day, and I was like, what does this button do? And that changed his life. G502 has that. I'm gonna have to go see what that means. Also, Alex, I haven't seen you in so long. Thank you for coming. But yes, okay. So first things first, we've got the speaking event in December. I hope everyone comes to Vegas for the conference. It's like, what I found is like casinos are really just adult summer camp. Everyone's got their bunks. There's like debauchery to do all night, plus vodka and gambling. Love. Separately, the mouse we're stoked about. Third, I wish I could show you the coolest thing I've ever done in Excel, ever. But I've got a secret project I'm working on, and I can't talk about that. But I can talk about what I've learned from that. And that relates to this month's topic, which is the let function. And what I've realized is that I am creative, but I oftentimes see really creative uses of things, and then I reverse engineer, and then I use that forever. So I'm not going to be the one to blaze a trail and completely make something new. That ain't me. But I know how to recognize a good idea. Let's get that so straight. The snappiest way to say this is I created 12,000 human lives in Excel. And it's exactly the way you think it is. So for today, the data that I'm working with is not the actual project data. It's like a mock-up of some random hospital scenario. But essentially, I've been working on a discrete event simulation in Excel. Now, yeah, you could use simulation software, but guess what? Nobody knows how to use that stuff, and Excel is infinitely useful, and that's what we love. So I'm working on a discrete event simulation, which basically means you simulate. Simulations are good for creating a virtual representation of reality so that you can test different scenarios and kind of make strategic decisions based on those scenarios. A lot of the times you'll hear financial simulations based on good volume year, bad volume year, etc. I'm doing this to be able to measure if there is an influx of customers patients to this hospital, would the lobby be able to handle the influx with the current staff and machinery and check-in process that they have? Now, obviously, this is dummy data and I have not familiarized myself completely, but I have a fake model. And what I did is this is dusting off a decade's worth of industrial engineering knowledge, because back in the day you find out about like normal distribution and log normal and exponential and gamma and all these things to be able to kind of like represent random behavior, because there's like the normal distribution, which is like the bell curve. But then there's things like, arrival to a movie. You wouldn't want people to arrive in a normal distribution because you'd want them all to come kind of closer to the time the movie starts, you'd think. I wish I could show you all of the Power Query craziness I did, and I'll probably do like a more for real version of that. But essentially you can have all of your different uncontrolled, and I'm talking complete nonsense at this point, but really what a simulation, there's a few requirements you need. Is basically there's controlled variables, like controlled input variables, uncontrolled input variables, basically human nature, how the world works, Secondarily, there's, the scenarios of those input variables, a model engine of how it processes things in logical system. It's the logic and the science of how things are moving through that system. And then you need output, KPIs that you're trying to observe the impacts of the input variables versus the outputs. We love science. Additionally, some constraints, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But for today, I'm doing the most basic of basic of basic. Basically, we have, it's hard to, we're going to be creating a little bit of data. And then when we get to the engine and like the Excel sheet I'm about to show you is like, I created 10 minutes ago. Let be and let God. Okay, so without further ado, what I learned last week with Let, so essentially this month's structure, and before we even get started, huge wins happening in the Office Hours with Amber community. My sister's been popping up with her goals. There's been a lot of really beautiful discourse happening around like burnout and, energy management. One of the members just got a new job, which is huge because that is a very big, scary step. And we've been just popping off in the Discord. So I love that. And it really just tickles my heart in a different way where it's like, by me publicly posting my journey, learning and being bad at new things and encouraging people to come along with me, people are doing stuff with their, like stepping forward into new stuff as well, which is like cool. I mean, that's the thing is like, you see the Taylor Swift of it all, and she's like impacting millions and billions of people, but like just as impactful to say that, hey, I was able to encourage a friend to do something. But that has nothing to do with me. It's just I'm really excited to see my friend, all of the Office Hours and the Amber members doing new things. And it's just like, So all I can say is I encourage everyone to go do something new today. Do something you've done before in a new way, etc. We just been a little ADHD cracked out today. We're fine. It's all good. Speaking of which, a little self-regulation. We are hydrated. Not only with that, but we've also got, of course, I should be sponsored by Red Bull. Red Bull Amber, a very beautiful shade of fuchsia. Also, my nail polish, which is so ugly because I painted it really horribly, is the shade Bikini Sotini. And I think that's so delicious and fun. But yeah, it's like the most you can't really, that is so bad. Oh, my little busted fingers. It is the most perfect shade of periwinkle I think I've ever seen. And I've been really on the like coastal grandma vibe lately. So yes, Harry, it is water. The funny thing is as much vodka as I drink in public, I don't drink at home. It's a weird, like, it's not like a boundary of it's more of like, it never strikes the fancy, Okay, I think I have stalled long enough. I just need to get into it. Okay, but basically what you're going to see is a really ugly Excel sheet where I'm trying to simulate the entry to a hospital in the intake. So let's do it. And obviously ChatGPT is open because it's my best friend. It literally oh God, I wish I could show you the people generator. So essentially we've got, let me zoom in. La la la. So I would say we've got patient scenarios. So these are all reasons that someone would go to like a hospital counter. For instance, incomplete registration, insurance issues, special equipment, triage form. Now, I can't confirm the validity of any of these things, but we create the bounds of them well enough that they can be adjusted by someone else. We mark those. I have the other one, has the yellow. La 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 la. Let's put that to a less egregious color. Nice. Also, Jack Kennedy, she mentioned, why do we always have to do everything in such like boring colors? And I was like, Oh my God, you're right. Is that internalized misogyny? So I am vowing to myself to create my own Excel theme that's like peachy, fun, red, pink coral tones. So by next time, that is my vow to you, is that I will have better stuff. Also, ew, the grid lines. Get out of here. Okay, so basically, we've got a few things happening here. We've got we've got patient types. We've got duration. And these durations have to be wrong, obviously, because that's wild work to say that you can get things done in under 5. No, actually, that's a little better. But getting anything done under 10 minutes at a hospital, I feel like is impossible. I digress. I'm not talking shit on hospitals. Love y'all. But we've got durations, we've got patient types, and then we have reasons that they would be attending like scenarios that they would be at the counter. This model, which the one that I had, I like putting my raw data in the very corner, and anything that's like a standalone situation out in the open. Ugh, ugly. Let's make it cute. Not important. I'm avoiding doing that. Okay, cute. So we've got the model. So you've got all the patient IDs, the patient type, which does that match? Adult, child, senior, critical, which the funny thing is I feel like, well, it's not funny. I feel like you could be adult and critical, but like, whatever. We're going to roll with it. ChatGPT gave it to me, so we're going to blame it. Actually, no, that would say we're going to take away the criticality. We're just going to do 3 different types of people. And then we're going to say, I would say ambulance would be more of a critical situation. Now, each of these patient types should be like adding up to 100%. So let's just... Am I dumb? Yes. Oh, I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Of an adult, the percentage chance that they're using any of those reason codes should add up to 100%. See, I'm being silly. So basically in the preliminary model, it's going to have all these people, and then it would take, I used a let statement, basically let A equal 15%, B equals 10%, and C equal this. And if the RAND, so actually, we're just going to do it. So how these would work, actually, Q modeling is tough because certain doctors are likely preferred for certain conditions. That is something you can build logic in for. And it actually makes it a bit easier for the queuing if you have a full list of, doctors and their preferred, like you could put them as a 0% on, like if it's your, like a urological surgeon, I don't know, I had a friend, if you put them as that, they're probably not going to do any like female intake. So it's an easy way. Actually, the more bounds you give it, the easier it buckets people the right way. So for instance, I'm just going to give this, for instance, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I've been up to. So let's imagine these things were not ready for us. So we wanted to model the behavior. So patient ID, where we have the equals, we need an equals RAND. La la la. Oops. Is that a table? Uh-oh. Don't freak out. I'm going to make this full screen. Uh-oh. I've done it now. No, okay. Thank you. I try my best. Okay. So So the nice thing is, so if we were to do this in Power Query, which we're not going to do it right now, I'm just showing you a little snippet, but equals rand. And so what you can do, or at least I'm about to school myself here, let A equal that, B, oh, B equal that, C equal that, and then, oh, I'm immediately going to look stupid. I did this in ChatGPT literally yesterday. Can you write me a let statement that compares a random number to 3% probabilities to choose a patient type? Hey, Matt. There we go. Okay, so essentially, let's put this back down here and make those percentages. This is the ugliest way I could have done this, but I want to prove to myself that I could do it, which I did do. I just want to make the model myself. Okay, we've got our percentages, which I'm going to format. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably zoom in so you can see things. Okay, so random equals this number. Then I compare to the, I'm declaring all these other variables, and then what I can do is patient type then you can do a calculation if R is greater than A, adult, if R is greater than B, child, and then if then the else would have been senior. Oh, senior. Oh, I've done something. Uh-oh. Of course not. Let's see what's going on. And I'm not even using very good. Oh, the output would just be the formula. Ha-ha! I don't think I locked those cells. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Lock. Yes. Yes, I did it. Sorry. I wrote a let statement. Okay. Now, this isn't important right now, but at university, this sort of arrivals process would have been typically modeled as a Poisson process, an arrival rate that you can vary time of the day and the week. Yes, I agree completely. When you want to do different random, like you can adjust your the distribution of randomness. So statistical distributions. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. So Exactly that. So like Poisson. Oh, they don't even. Oh yeah, there it is. So like the likelihood of something happening a bit earlier. Your distribution often comes down to what data you have available. So like a lot of the times, if there's something that's a very random or the normal distribution is often used because that is the easy statistics to put into it, because there's certain ones that need like an alpha and a beta value, and ain't nobody know how to do that. So I try to make statistics as easy as possible. Now in this scenario, when you're just choosing a random person betwixt these things, that's where I let it loose. But in terms of arrival times, absolutely you should be using it. Like likelihood is not everyone, like depending on the hours of operation, blah blah blah. But yes, I completely agree with you. But the cool thing is you can use a let to automatically assign things. Now I think this might be a very remedial version of let, and that's okay. Guess what? We still know how to functionally use it. I think next month when I get into lambdas is when we're going to get real crazy, but regardless, we're past. So now that I know the like the type of that, now that I know in Power Query, basically you would have the random variable or like the random number, you would assign the let, you'd take away that random number and then like have the like I inserted a buffer step, which Ashley told me about. You inserted a buffer step so it just locks in that side of the table, because Power Query does not love randomness. Apparently, it doesn't like overprocessing things, which I get it. But cool thing. So basically, I would, when I'm good with that, I copy those as values, and then I would move on. Based on that, we've got how many? We've got 8 different reason codes, and so this is probably not the cutest way to do this either. But what I did, we'll just use the name, and no, transpose that, paste his values, and then why am I being silly right now? We're going back to index match, I don't care. In the in Power Query, this would be a scenario where I'd be matching the name to a table that's already been transposed, but for now we're just gonna vibe. We're going to match row. Match this to that 0, and then match this to that. Let's lock some things. Now, okay, here we go. Another cool thing that I should have done, for instance, is if this was still a, let's use some of our, oh, first and foremost, I should be using a table. I'm being so silly about that. Whatever. Okay, so equals transpose of the page, what did I even name it? Desk visits. Okay. Equals transpose of desk visits where a scenario code. Okay. So we've got the spilled array now, which I'm gonna wrap so we can see what's going on. It looks ugly, but guess what? Who cares? Blah, blah. I do. Okay, cool thing is obviously we're matching here, but if I want to spill all the way across, you just throw the pound sign and then you've got all of them. If this was also a dynamic array, we would spill that way as well, but I didn't do it that way, so we're living la vida loca. Cool. Okay, now you've got all your probabilities, which we're just gonna la 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 la. There we go. Okay, we've got all of our probabilities, and we're going to do a very similar. We've got our random number, and I think if you are to, I think there's a scenario. Does to the power of 2 work? Nice. Which, let's see what that looks like on a graph. Ooh. If we were just to... Huh. Anyways, when you have more numbers, like if you were to have like a gazillion colors or a gazillion rows, it would start to kind of represent you would be able to see visually the distribution you're working with, but we only have 13 values, so understandably going to look a little weird. Okay, now we need to understand what kind of visit that they are there for. So similarly, we're going to do another let, and of course I let. Now we've got a million of them. So rand r I wish I would have given these shorter codes. Reg insurance, oh, commas. And realistically, I should be giving them their own rows, but don't care. Docs. Equip. Triage. Minor. Which I don't know why you'd need to go to a counter for that, but that's fine. And assist. Special. Okay, we've got all of these variables, and now I want to do the calculation of if, which I kind of feel like there's like a choose situation that can happen here. I'm just gonna equals hi. That's the funny thing is you could put a million things in there just for it to not calculate anything of worth, which I love. Okay, here we go. Is there a dynamic array or other method function to choose the patient type? Let's just see what it comes back with. I think choose is only when it's like specific values though. Choose by index. What? Oh, I could use XLOOKUP. I'm being silly because XLOOKUP has the, so in you can do exact or next smaller item. So technically I could have done that. Oh, cool. Yeah, and I think it has to be cumulative though. They are, the thresholds are cumulative. which would mean that they need to be in a sequential order of, if not, well, no, I don't. Because the randomness would just pick between those. Okay, so what I'm gonna do. Oh. Oh my gosh, Banjo. Protect the household. Gee. Banjo, you good, brother? I know the Perfect Prince everyone has been waiting to see. Oh, the Seepies boy. He looks like a little rat because we got him a haircut. Tell him about it. Are we better? Are you gonna go fight him? I think there is someone knocking though. Tell him I'm busy. Okay, well, we're just gonna keep going. Okay, philosophically, I think I could do the cumulative of this, so I could use XLOOKUP, which feels a little bit more. It feels a little more like sophisticated, but that's okay. And you want to know why I don't want to do it the way that I'm doing it right here? Is because, okay, I'm gonna try the one that I just found. Okay, the random is that thresholds are, maybe I can, no, don't do that. No, let me do this, please. Am I done? Can the thresholds be cell values? Oh, I don't need the brackets. Okay. Thresholds. And the XLOOKUP would be rand of thresholds return would be, oh, maybe I can make that a variable too. Code reason, and then that would be this, and then thresholds, and then we return the reason, and if not found, NA, and then otherwise we want to do exact match or next smaller, I think. Exact match or next larger, because if it's 0 to 15, okay, let's do it. Okay, I need this to be cumulative though. I think, okay, I think plus, I want, okay, maybe this isn't a, I like need the let's learn some stuff. Okay. How to do a, you know what, actually we're just gonna fix the source data. We actually don't need 45, 50, 75, 85, 90, 95, 100. We don't need to overcomplicate everything today. Ooh. I don't like that would create a scenario where I couldn't put a 0 in there. Maybe I just put the 0. Yeah, okay. Sure. 35, 50. Well, how did that happen? We're just gonna say that this puts it to 7,500. Don't care. Doesn't matter. This is all fake data anyway. Sorry, Banjo. 65. 8,500. Whatever. Okay, cool. So, in this scenario, oops. Need to lock that. Okay. Now let's see if this is like mathing the way I'm thinking it should math. 19% would put it into the first, 79% would put it into, it's above that one. Okay, cool. Scan. Okay. Also, Eric, nice to see ya. Oh, sorry, we've got a sweet banjo on the loose. Did you protect and honor the family? Okay. Okay, let's try out that scan though. I want to see. Equals scan 0. P. Oh, I don't know lambdas yet. Let's just see what happens. A, V, A plus V. Whoa. How does it know what A is the question. Oh my gosh, Esther, hi. Nice to see you. Okay, in the chat, please put like the most basic version of what lambda, how it knows what A and V is. That's very cool though, which I love. So thank you for that. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, really, so in this scenario, I brought all of this shit in there just so I can get this, copy paste, delete this shit. You don't need it anymore. So essentially I'm giving, oh, relax. What's going on? You make, so in, okay, so essentially, for the super secret project that I've been working on, A starts as 0, that is your first argument. And then V is whatever is next, which is being referenced. Huh. Delicious. I love that lambda is next month. V is each of the things in your second argument, in turn, one by one applying. Oh, wait, that's going to be huge. Oh my gosh. That's going to be really huge for the engine step because I'm going to need it to have to look through one thing at a time. Okay. That's actually beautiful. Thank you for that. Okay, but so for the super secret project that I've been working on, I essentially created 12,000 lives, and every time I press refresh in Power Query, all of what I just showed you, essentially I gave it the input variables of the patient type, the percentage probability that they show up at these times and these durations, and it's all vettable math later, just to model human behavior. And was super proud of it because me and ChatGPT, for me not knowing lambda, none of that stuff, and Power Query, us popping off together, fantastic fun. I was very proud about that. Eventually I'll make a cool model that refreshes and all of this stuff. But for today, we're going to keep going. Okay, so that was a little demo on all of what was going on there, but I'm going to delete this nonsense because I don't need it. Oh, we're lagging. Big lag. Let me delete those randoms out of there. Yikes. That's why I put all the rands in Power Query so I can refresh it once and it doesn't eat my CPU just to smithereens. Jeez Louise. Papa cheese. What in tarnation? Okay, we're going back to, I'm going to dink around with my Excel and make sure that it relaxes. My computer sounds like it's going to take off. For anyone hanging out in the chat, what are your month goals and how are they going? Let a girl know. Because my Excel's on the fritz. Also, if anyone has any LETs and Lambda statements that would help with discrete event simulation, Scan is about to save my life, so feel free to help a girl out. My Excel is still freaking out. Ugh. My computer generally lately has been just really doing the most. Let me look at my task manager. Oop. Oh. Yeah, just Excel being Excel, I guess. Okay. We're gonna share the screen again and see if it blows up. That's the real thing. I don't think I've gotten anything super specifically accomplished today, but that's okay. I'm super stoked. Just learning about Scan, changing a life. There are people who give reduces the same thing but gives you the last A. Scan gives you all the A's as you go. Reduce is the same thing but gives you the last A. Oh my gosh. Thank you for saying that in English, because a few Googles ago I was confused. There are people that stream video games with insane graphics and all this stuff, and I'm doing Excel and my computer has a stroke. If anyone wants to build me a PC, absolutely. What have you done is try things, and that's worth something. You know what, Esther? Thank you. Okay, so what's missing here is the time intake to, like, when they got to the hospital. So arrival to hospital, arrival to lobby. And a funny thing is what I recognize, and obviously this is crazy, but Excel's all CPU. That's fair. I saw some data sets from, obviously, Excel doesn't do well with timestamps. So I was trying to look through, like, being able to iterate 1 minute at a time, which of course in Excel language is something so weird. So I created my own timetable, basically where there's the text time of the day that you could read it of like 5:04, whatever. But when you iterate one number at a time, you get to like 5:59 and then it goes to 6. So you can't just use it as a number. However, it does represent what minute in the day that it is. So then you can use any kind of math or like sequential reasoning that I've been using lately. I guess I could probably put something else on the computer. No, that's fine. We don't need it. There we go. But I've been using my own like timetable, which I thought was kind of crafty, but then I'm like, am I overcomplicating this? And then I remembered, no. So I'm just gonna take some random plucks out of here. I don't want to model it. I'm just going to put, I should just do a random. I'm being real dumb about this. If anyone wants to put what equation they would do to pick a random number from, actually, we just did this. I'm just doing the, see, this is exactly the pressure, like, you know, when you're competing and then you just do the first thing that comes to your mind. Do you just say computer in a British accent? Who could be sure? What comes out of my mouth on this podcast? I guess I could call this a podcast. I know I should. You know what? Sequence. Count. I can't be held accountable for the words I say. What? Oh, phew. I was about to have a... and then... equals 1200, so... There we go. I knew you'd have the answer. Equals index... MG. Guessing that's the data set. Index that. Ran between one count A of this. Stunning. God, you're so freaking smart. I love. Okay, fantastic. Arrival to lobby. Oh shit. And then we delete. And that is why we recruit having smart friends. So we've got the let me make this look like not an ugly table. Oh, what did I name that table? Of course I didn't name it anything. Model. Two arrivals to the lobby. Just kidding. Count ifs. Count ifs. Model. Arrivals. Where? Nope. I'm being silly. Actually, no, that's fine. And what I should do... Oh, yeah, no, wait. One of these equals sequence of 1200. What the fuck? Going to do. Basically, I want to make sure that everything is a dynamic array. So like if I was to adjust the times, like the duration of the day, everything would go with it. We've got 5 minutes left, so we're just going to keep cranking until the end. But 1200 rows equals sequence 1200. What is... Oh, my numlock. Oh my gosh, the number of times... Okay, let's talk for real. The number of times I will have a full crash out because I didn't realize I pressed numlock and I'm just zipping around my page. Full tilt. Okay. Also, I refuse to ever use a keyboard that does not have a 10 key on it ever again. One column, starting at 300, step by one, and we're going to delete all that. Great. Okay, here we go. Then I can looking up this value in this area, which I would normally reference my timetable, but I don't have one right now, so we're gonna live with it. I don't like that. I wish there was a way. There probably is a way. We're not going to talk about it. F4. There we go. Okay. Better. Because now what I can do... Patient's arrival to lobby. Look for this. And then we're going to look for it in the arrival minutes where that happens. Okay, great. So that's basically going to give me when people are arriving. Now, I think if I was to do this more acutely, I would have done it in smaller intervals so that there's more people, or had more people in the model so that it would have been like, it would have created a scenario where you're like, oh, you might actually need more than one attendant or whatever. Because based on the way it is right now, there's only ever going to be one person really being attended to. And most of these, unless this is like which we would find out later, but unless that was like a 30-minute scenario, then there would be no wait time. So ipso facto, I'm learning lots about LET. And I'm really stoked about Lambdas next month because I think there's even more to learn there. But what I didn't realize is that I was going to double back on a few months. So Power Query plus LETs, being able to do a LET statement inside of Power Query, huge. They interact like a little different, but like the bones of it is still like variable declaration, do something with it, which is great. Which is funny because I started my college experience as a computer science major, and I did like Java and C and all that. So like, we really come full circle. Okay, to reiterate, I hope everyone joins Officers of the Amber. There is probably a link in the bio. Oh, I hate that. Link and subscribe and bio and But if you do want to subscribe, basically, I'm going to be trying to pump up these numbers because in December, I'm going to be presenting the case study findings of how many people were able to achieve how many things, what the vibes were, insights, learning. So everything is now becoming a data point. It already was. But for those of you who joined midway through, big announcement, I will be one of the speakers at the December 2025 Active Cell Conference, and I'll be talking all about fostering your spark and translating it into a system to be able to achieve more, which is basically what Office Hours with Amber is. I'm really stoked about it. You might see some like goofy videos of me talking about that soon, but yeah, who gives me a microphone? Crazy. I'm going to go hang out in the Office Hours with Amber Discord if you want the link. I don't think that's in the bio because we got a lot of weird spam lately, which I feel like I might have caused, but none of my business. Okay. I hope this didn't lag too hard. Super nice chit-chatting with everyone. Oh, I'm ending 2 minutes early. Blasphemous. Okay. Anyways, appreciate everyone who came. See you later. It always cuts off weird, so